It's far better to make a decision than drown yourself in analysis. Doing nothing might mitigate risk, but it will absolutely eliminate possibility. I would say that among the things that I see that really gets in people's way is this idea of how am I going to mitigate risk, right? I'm not going to take any risk. And so what happens is no decision is made and lots of time passes. And absolutely, you can spend no money, take no risk of failure if you make no decision at all. The problem is nothing happens. And most of the time, believe it or not, a bad decision is better than no decision at all. It was really interesting. Some time ago, I read an article of, sort of the top CEOs in America and like their 10 or whatever it was kind of things that they thought were important for success. And one of them was the ability to make a decision and to act. And all of them said, if you can't make a decision, it's far more detrimental to your success and advancement than no decision at all, which completely shuts you down. And so I see this a lot in people, this inability to act, this inability to make a decision about anything. It's like, so what do you do when you're not making a decision? You're still. You're sort of kind of solidified in this place. So one of the things that I think I would really encourage you to do is look at all of the things that you're going back and forth on, right? You're like, should I do this or should I do that? You're like this, ping pong match going back and forth and making list and list of pros and cons. And what's happening is you have yet to pull the trigger on something, whatever it is in your business or your professional life that's kind of holding you back. And what I would love for you to do is come up with 3 things that you're not making a decision about, 3 things that are burdening you. You know those things that like you carry around and you're driving in your car and they're in the back of your head and you're showering in the morning and they're still there. They're the first thing you think about when you wake up, the last thing you think about when you go to bed. I want you to take those things and really decide that I'm going to take one of these things and I'm just going to make a decision. I'm going to make a decision of yes or no, up or down, left or right, and just pull the trigger. It's going to be a lot harder for you than you can possibly imagine. That's why I'm asking you to choose one and not all 3. But I think it's an important lesson for you to understand that whatever the consequence of that decision is, you can manage it, because that's really why you don't do it, because you're fearful of the consequence. And the truth of the matter is, most of what we do isn't going to kill us or be financially ruinous. It's probably not such a big a deal, but you need to build that muscle. You need to be more confident about your capacity to make a decision and believe in your decision-making processes. One of the things that happens is what I find is people aren't confident because others are questioning them. Well, who do you think you are? How are you going to make that decision? How is that going to work? And what happens is it compromises your confidence and you end up making no decision at all. I don't want that for you because you can't grow from that place. It's okay for people to question you, but you don't have to allow that to compromise your confidence and your integrity and your decision-making power. So this week, I want you to take just one decision that you've been sitting on the fence with, and I want you to pull the trigger. I want you to make a decision. And I want you to think about how that feels. And then I want you to start making other decisions, because the longer you stand still, the less you're going to grow and the longer it will take you to get to where you want to be.